All right. Welcome back, friends. For today and for the next few episodes, Mike and I have the privilege and the honor and the joy, even though the message isn't going to be particularly joyful, of taking up the book of Isaiah. So I want to just very, very briefly skim some of the intro to Isaiah, and then we're going to go into chapter one proper. And even though we have YouTube with and or the very so I'm on a lot of platforms. You and I are just not on YouTube. So however you access this data, I know I can just say, hey, you guys, go review the video, right? I could have done the same thing myself, which I sort of did when I was looking at the notes, but I'm going to go ahead and include it here. That just gets us all focused in, and then we can really be a little more, I think, reasoned and intelligent about what we're going to discuss. Okay, so the first thing I always ask myself is, where is this book or this author, this situation in salvation history? Where am I? And the second thing is, I like to take stock of the importance of the text that I'm reading. In our case, Isaiah is the most quoted of the prophetic books in the New Testament, in the Gospels, and by Paul's letters. So we know we're entering into some hefty territory. We want to take a look of the reason for that, which would be that it's full of prophecies of Christ, and also, and we sometimes tend to forget this part, there were words of rebuke and consolation for the people of God. We want to now, being incorporated into Christ, we are God's people. So we want to hear these words with a little bit of an echo in our own mind and our own heart as he deals with his wayward people. And my friends, all of us are wayward people from one time or another. And then we talked about Isaiah and God's faithfulness to his covenant, that God was faithful, and of course, Israel was not. And I always find it so marvelous whenever I'm reading any text, really, from our distant past, that this was written 2,500 years ago, and it reads just as if Isaiah was sitting with you and I, Mike, and having a beverage of our choice.
Yeah. So timeless.
Yes. Do you have thoughts there before we move forward?
No, I'm excited to get into it because I think there's so much depth in this book, and it's so fascinating just how involved the New Testament is with references to Isaiah, and even the quotes of Jesus and everything, where you can tell that this, not only to the Hebrews, was such an important book, but now to Christianity, I think it's such a heavy and important book because of how much it ties everything together.
That's right. And before you and your great wisdom suggested we take up the Shakespeare of the Bible, and I just knew it from more cursory. I'm still a student, like all of us are. I would hear Isaiah, but and have reverence. But I hear it now, like it was just in the reading, and well, where we at? Oh, we got some time. All right, okay, so our past gospel reading was from Isaiah 6, and also from Luke, I think chapter 4, the beginning of Luke, the call of the apostles. And the Isaiah 6 is Isaiah's description of call, and our Lord's call to Peter and the other fishermen, you remember they're out fishing, they don't catch anything. It's early in the morning the next day. The Lord comes. He says, "Hey, put your net out." They kind of think he's a little bonkers because fish don't come out. They haven't caught anything. They come out at night, but obedience. They have obedience. They put the net out, catch the fish, and lo and behold, the boat's about to sink. There's so much fish, they got to call the other boats in, and there it is. Here's the type that I just saw because of these studies, and was Peter's reaction. And it's an awful lot like Isaiah's reaction to his call. Peter doesn't say, "Hey, thank you," or show gratitude, or, attaboy, or how can we divvy this up? He doesn't do that. He drops to his knees in awe and he says, "Depart from me, I'm a sinful man." And that's what Isaiah says when he's having his vision, which is pretty, technicolor or whatever we call it these days. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say, "Hey, this is so great. This is beautiful," or whatever. He says, "Woe is me. Woe is me. I am a sinful man and I live amongst sinful people." And of course, our Lord, just to Isaiah, he doesn't say you're wrong. And our Lord doesn't tell Peter he's wrong either. What he tells Peter is, "I will make you a fisherman." So our Lord will heal him, just as Isaiah will be healed.
I think that's such a cool way to better understand the idea of the fear of the Lord, where it's this sense of awe and wonder and revelation of our own brokenness, and I think it's a kind of humility tied to fear of the Lord, where you just realize how awesome and powerful our Creator is, and because of that, you feel
You feel like, right? And that's right. That is humility, and it's truth. And Peter saw the truth. Isaiah saw the truth. But our Lord is so awesome, even though it's true, he doesn't leave us there.
Right.
Right? He doesn't leave us there. All right. See, this is what happens. We get into scripture. So we haven't even done this a cursory glance of salvation history. So let us pick that up in the next episode. Are we good, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Till then, my friends. Fide Sriracha.